show you respect and they'll show it back. I'd like to throw a big shout out to all our ongoing partners who continue to support the entire club, year in and year out. East Maitland Bowling Club, Burton's Automotive and the Mutual that have been supporting us for years. Come down and see Reese and the team at Thompson and Clark if you need your house sold. George Tavern, Kranos Construction and Kelly Partners. We are all very grateful for your support. Big thank you to Maitland Council. The ground wouldn't look as amazing as it does today, or they wouldn't turn up on their day off to water it pre-game. If anyone knows George in the 15s, his real name Callum. We're currently holding a fundraiser and a raffle for him to make it to Spain. If you need a ticket, come down and see the hub. The lovely ladies will put you in the grid. Please support our lovely player, get him overseas, support our country.
We didn't want to pick up on Barcelona, but if you want Cucumber and Barcelona got a draw because they helped us because we don't want to finish fourth against first Canberra next week. And then we finish third.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to start off 3, but
Very good. Just last
next week.
Next week.
I'll
be listening now. I'm going to watch this at home, mate. See what your commentating skills are like. I've heard before that last game. Hey?
Lots of wins in Canada. I'll be at JB all the time. Lots of wins. Well, just like people going, can we send something out to the other schools that they have to trial? Well, I'll speak to Jamie. So I'll see Jamie. So I don't know how many spots are they trialing for there. And like, what about all the under 13, like all the, and did you see my email I just suggested about the life club, life member of the club of those guys? I sent an email about the under 9 trials, and I've heard about the kids in that. And then he sent me the EOI, and I said that's last. And then there's 100 EOI. I don't know, I'm not sure about this.
Before we call these teams out, I want to throw a big shout out to the women's first grade team and women's reserve grade team who just made the grand final. Congratulations. They're proud of yourselves. Well done. And a big congratulations to Sammy Scotty Warra, who has now just been selected in the Fijian international team. Well done, Scotty. Make us proud.
No, he hasn't. I'm meeting him on Tuesday.
Okay.
I'll go for it. As soon as I meet him Tuesday.
November until March because like, the kids must be starting there. So yeah, we need it. So we have to make sure we try and not doing Saturday for like
I'll have a look at that.
I know. There's just so all these and actually the one of the under 9 guys. I was sending out
They got that then. I sent got him yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe, okay. Oh, it might have been after I sent all the others out.
Really one of those Campbell.
I just added so many.
Yeah, Kincumber and Barcelona were draw tickets. Kincumber last, and we're hoping to get a draw. It helps us because we lost today
When that
against
guy
Campbell.
sent me that email, that killed me.
For us to finish third or second. So
I'm
we
going to
first,
conversation
second,
with you
but
guys.
us, so we didn't reverse four figures.
Take that ELI coach.
Campbell was one of those. And
Because there were people
big
still
thing.
completing it in January.
Like we didn't want to
then
verse them
somehow
because
or other, people have found
might get destroyed.
2026 still there, and that's what they're in June.
We'll beat Dorlo next week and they're that good.
August still on the last.
Mungara and the coach
I
too.
don't know how she found it.
Yeah.
Because I went on Facebook.
They didn't make.
I'll have a look at those.
No, I said no
I
party.
was talking to Orlando today.
No party Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to win.
Well, I said, I sent her a voicemail on the phone. I said, that's how it offers to other people. She was one of the new ones. I don't know. But, yeah, anyway, so she started telling me what I said, well, just to respond to the email. Like, it's not a,
So they tend to done.
He wanted it.
VIP function.
He wanted to come this because he said he's going to watch exactly how big it is.
You're away next weekend. I doesn't want to go.
No, he played Campbell first grade.
Okay.
And
So then what about the following weekend for the grand final?
Mine's the grand final the week after. You guys should all come down there.
Yeah, I'll go to Gibbo's grand final.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, that's important.
Oh, hang on. When is that?
He's giving it the figures.
2 weeks. He's giving it the figures. 2 weeks. You guys are out now. Come and watch you now. Yeah.
I definitely had something on. Because you said get a Barcelona when I...
Good afternoon and welcome to Cook Square Park. It is semi-final football in the Northern New South Wales NPL, all on the line. The winner marches on to a date with Broadmeadow Magic in the preliminary final next week. The loser, season over. Plenty to play for between Maitland and Edgeworth. There was a thrilling finish last week here at Cook Square that saw Maitland defeated by Western, who are now booked into the grand final in a penalty shootout, while Edgeworth got the job done over Bell Swans. Chris McPherson bringing you all the action alongside me, former Matilda Tara Andrews. Tara, good to have you with us today on semi-final football.
Yeah, what a day to play football. It's a beautiful afternoon here at Cook Square Park. Obviously, we've got Maitland, who have come off the loss last week in a penalty shootout, and then Edgeworth made their way through to this game, and it's going to be an entertaining game.
Certainly should be. Plenty of talent on both sides of the coin. Speaking of entertainment, we had plenty of entertainment in the reserve grade fixture. It was 3-0 at one point, got back to 3-2 before Maitland progressed through. They will play Valentine in next week's reserve grade preliminary final, so Maitland the chance to have two sides through in the men's. They've been a pretty strong club this year, Maitland. I don't want to put too much salt into the wound, but their women's went through in both first and reserve grade yesterday as well. And of course we have the minor semi-finals going on down at Lake Macquarie today for the women's as well, to see who you and your New Lambton team will face and hopefully defeat for a ticket to the grand final next week.
That's right. Obviously, we can see that Maitland are a very strong club in both the men and the women, and so let's see what's going to happen today.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Peter McGuinness will have his men up for this road trip. As we said, they eliminated Belmont Swansea last week. Bell Swans in their first ever NPL finals campaign, looking to try and make some history. Unfortunately fell a little bit short, but I guess on Bell Swans, Tara, what a season. It was only last year they were in their first year in the NPL, a return to the top tier, and what Mick Stafford's done with that team, and some of the impact some of those players have had. We've seen Marco Guelli fell just short of the Golden Boot, but had an outstanding season. I think a lot of credit needs to go to the crew down there at Blacksmiths and what they did this season. Yeah,
look, I think a very aggressive attacking style game that they play out there, and obviously Marco Guelli scoring a whole bunch of goals, and probably thought in that last round he was sitting in the box seat to get that Golden Boot and just got pipped at the post. But yeah, what a season from Bell Swans, and they would have been pretty proud to be in that fifth spot to make the finals, but just fell a little bit short.
Well, the big question now is who marches forward from here. Can Edgeworth capitalise on that momentum? Or will it be Maitland bouncing back for a chance to face Broadmeadow Magic? And isn't that a story in itself? That game went to extra time yesterday. And not a lot of people would have written the script that Western would go through to their first grand final in 12 years, chasing their first title in 31 years, but the Bears and Damien Zane will have the week off. And we had the fortune yesterday with Ryan Doidge of calling that game. It was outstanding game extra time. If this is anything like that standard of football, it's going to be an absolute treat for the viewers today.
Yeah, what a game. I think when you look at the result in isolation, 3-0 win for Western, seems like they really sort of overran Magic, but from the sounds of it, that game was a really big battle all the way through.
Certainly. Let's have a look at how the two teams line up as we start to see some players and officials making their way across. Peter McGuinness and the coaching staff of Edgeworth into the dugout here, ready to rock and roll. So let's start with the Edgeworth side. In goals, it will be Ben Conway. In number 2 is Christ Shoemaker. 4, Xander Wowries. 5, Tyler Harris, and they will be absolutely the core of this team at the back. 6, Jared McKechnie. 7, Reece McManus. Look for his pace down the flanks. 8, Matt Jones in that defensive line as well. Aaron Nankuru. In 10 will be the live wire in midfield. 11, Flynn Goodman. 18, Jared Sutherland, the mid-season signing from Charles Sanazuri. I'll tell you what, that looks like a decent move. If you've left Charles Sanazuri to end up in finals football, it was a tough year for Azuris. We saw getting relegated, and of course 19, their captain Tyson Jackson. And the starting side for Maitland, coached by Adam Hughes, is Taylor Payton in goals. We've got Luke Corcoran, who will be busy on the edge of the defensive line. Angus Muddle. Look for Daniel McFarlane in 7 to be busy through the midfield. James Thompson in 10. Braden Crowley will be their talisman up front in 14. Cameron Jessup in 15. Regan Lundy in 19. Matt Smale in 20. Cole McSeveny in 25. And number 31, Semi Wara, who we've just heard has been selected again for the next international window for the Fijian national side. So how good to have an international footballer in our midst today, Tara.
That's right. What an occasion it is. And for Semi Wara to obviously make that team, I think the Maitland team will be very lucky to have him as that centre-back. Strong. Try to hold him out today.
So just taking his time, coming out at the back of the line, skipping up and about. This is also great to see. It's wonderful when there's an opportunity to involve some of the juniors from the area, and it's such a prestigious occasion as well, coming out with their Maitland side, and undoubtedly some of the players that they're aspiring to follow in the footsteps of. We often talk about youngsters wanting to go and make it all the way to the A-League or to Europe, but for a lot of kids, the much more realistic and realisable goal, but still an achievement, would be to play in the NPL at some point and to be able to play an occasion like this. So great for them to be able to join their first grade side out here. A few waves to mum and dad over here and the camera. Cast of thousands of them out there, Tara.
They all look pretty excited.
Certainly a couple of the players that aren't much taller than them, though. So just on their tippy toes to look over the top as we get set here. It's a very, very calm atmosphere. There's plenty of people in here at Cook Square Park, but I'm sure the vibes will ramp right up once we get underway. Calm and composed both sides as they get set. Hughes makes his way over. He'll exchange pleasantries with the opposing coach, Pete McGuinness. And this one is going to be interesting, that is for certain. Two powerhouses of Northern New South Wales football going toe-to-toe as we see our referee having a chat with the two captains in Jackson and Crowley. I touched on it before. I called him the talisman, Braden Crowley. Well, I guess all roads almost lead to goal. You're talking about it off air with me in terms of the numbers. Braden Crowley is just so dominant when it comes to the volume of his scoring as a percentage of Maitland overall. Yeah,
that's right. You know, I had a look and I think he's got 17 goals this season, which, you know, is a lot of goals for the season. He had two other people ahead of him for the Golden Boot race, but the next person on the list has scored 5 goals for Maitland. So, yeah, he's the one that they're going to look for today. If he can get on the score sheet, they've got a pretty good chance of winning.
I certainly do. It'll be interesting to see too. You'll note when he gets involved that if it's a little bit dry up front, you'll start to see Braden dropping deeper and deeper, which actually makes it more challenging for him to score. But a player with his pedigree, with his A-League experience, is always going to be, you know, wanting to look for the football. I'm sure as a striker who's played at that level as well, it'll be a similar situation for you. And you know the ball's not finding you, you need to go and start finding it to try and help out and get that flow happening. That's
right. The only way you can score is with the ball at your feet. So if you can't get it nice and high, then he's going to drop back in and see if he can create something from there.
Well, here we go. They're setting up now. So it will be Lundy and Crowley up front, leading the line for Maitland. On the other side, Reece McManus. Another man who spent some time at Azuri previously and touched on that. One for Aaron Niankuru sitting in behind McManus there. Agile, dangerous with the football. Absolutely electric in tight spaces, and that's now underway. Edgeworth in the black with the red trim, going from left to right of your screen in this first half. A ticket in the preliminary final on offer for the winner. A ticket to some commiserations and celebrations of a season on the offer for the loser. Straight away, McManus into the box. Takes a shot, deflected. And it'll spill away wide and go over the byline, and we'll have a corner early doors here.
Good start there from Edgeworth. Got a little look at goal.
McManus quite keen to pull the trigger there. There's good confidence, obviously, coming off the back of a good win last week for them. And Kura will be the man to curl the corner in. The right foot, he'll try and sit this across the byline and then curl it away late. Trying to find a runner at the top of the 6-yard box. It falls down. Opportunity here. Strike taken, sprayed just wide of the goal. Nearly took out a couple of spectators who weren't paying attention. Kai Shoemaker making his presence known at the edge of the 18-yard box.
And that fell nicely right at his feet. He hit it quite well. A bit of power, just a little bit wide.
It shows if you're standing behind the goals, you need to be alert at all times. Eyes on the prize. I'll keep you updated with some scores from around the ground throughout today as well. A little bit of football also coming to the pointy end. I touched on before, Lake Macquarie City and Broadmeadow will be going toe-to-toe, looking for a berth against New Lambton in the Cardiff Motor Group Women's NPL preliminary final. We've also got the second leg of the promotion relegation semi-finals. Will be almost wrapped up now between Wallsend and Newcastle Croatia. Stunning first leg of that, 6-all in the first leg. Maitland now just happy to work it round at the back, and the jersey change there, so we're going to have to try and figure out what's going on. Who's decided to wear a different number and throw us for a loop. So now Edgeworth pushing forward again. McManus getting in behind. One-on-one with the defender. He'll try to cut towards the byline. Well defended, but Manus managed to hold possession inside the byline, pushed back towards the sideline, and Maitland do well to come away with it. Corcoran a little touch inside. Finds Muddle. Jackson now with the ball, and captain for Edgeworth wide here on the right. Drops it back into the pocket. Long cross. I saw Western use those with a plum yesterday from the boots of the like of Hurley and co. And goes Shoemaker again, happy to push forward. Bounces off Corcoran, but loses possession. Now a chance for Jackson wide. Curls it into the box, headed down but not cleared. Oh, another chance for Shoemaker. He's finding plenty of space at the top of that 18-yard box. But not to be. Sprays this one high. He's gone wide, he's gone high. Surely third time's the charm, Tara.
That's right. It was a tough shot there. Obviously, he was bouncing up and he's tried to sort of, I think, fall as he was trying to hit the ball on that occasion. But he's had two decent looks at goal now.
So confirmation, Newcastle-Croatia will play Cahiba in the relegation promotion playoff next week. They won 3-2 in the second league to make it 9-8 on aggregate. There's a lot of goals in 180 minutes of football. 3-2 is a decent score, but it have been 6-all last week. That's phenomenal. I think there's a window, 35 minutes, where there was 7 goals.
Obviously, wasn't much defending happening.
It was a bit like the World Cup third-place playoff, defending optional. So Jessup play it forward now, and Smale's pass is deflected nearly into our commentary area. Smale will take the throw. Back through the centre-back pairing. Now Wara, that man we're talking about, called back up to Fijian international duty in the next window. Strong contest there, and away comes Edgeworth with Goodman. Accelerates into the box, takes a strike. It's halfway between a cross and a shot, I think, and either way it didn't pay any reward, and it'll be a goal kick for the Magpies.
It's a good start here for Edgeworth, I think. You know, Maitland have had a little bit of possession just sort of around the back, but nothing too serious up front, whereas Edgeworth, a couple of half chances here.
Right, play it out and go long. Jessup. McFarlane will clean up and play it down for Muddle, gets the return pass. Let's have a clumsy challenge there, and we'll have a foul going the way of Maitland. We'll release the pressure and let them out a little bit, and you could hear the frustration coming from the Edgeworth bench at that. Confirmation looks like the 41 was originally named in 25. Kyle McSeveny, I think it is. Process of elimination. Just confirmed from the club as I say that. Just playing some tricks on us, Tara, just keeping us on our toes.
That's it.
Two exchanges in midfield. Edgeworth getting the best of the early chances though. Most of the possession and position down in what is the southern half of Cook Square Park, and surface is looking outstanding. You were saying that playing on here yesterday a little bit slippery at times, especially as it got later in the day, was it? Yeah,
that's it. Obviously, it's a very nice pitch to play on, but it is a little bit slippery underfoot when you're trying to change direction at pace. We had a few slips yesterday, so we'll see how it performs today.
A little bit of early rain during the day yesterday probably wouldn't have helped. It's a concern I'd never have though, because you use those words at pace.
I mean,
there's advantages to being slow.
I didn't slip over, so what does that tell you?
Just those youngsters bouncing around in the midfield. Or not so young in a couple of spots on your team.
That's right.
There's a birthday in your team midweek, actually, I believe.
There was. Miss Davis.
As Jared Sutherland gets a chance, we might come back to the birthday shout-out in a moment as Edgeworth push forward here with Goodman. Just across the byline, we'll have a corner Miss Davis, the Jets captain.
Yeah, I don't think
finally back on the field for New Lambton. Great to see.
That's it. I don't know if she want me to say what birthday she had during
21
the week.
again. Always
Yes,
21.
21.
Always 21. Sometimes the exuberance of cash, you think she's 21, so we'll go with that. And then Curry to curl this one in. This will be the favoured side for him on that right boot. Ketchney presents for the short one. Nothing happening. Curls it into that front post. Deflected away. Nice and calm. Maitland were well covered there and try and set this block up as... Oh, a little touch there. Just wasn't quite certain of it. Taylor Pate. Couldn't take it though, and it goes out of play, and we're going to have another corner. Aaron Niankuru is just going to get his metres up running crossfield here to take corners. It's interesting because quite often you'll have, you know, a right and a left footer to take your corners from either side. So his prowess with the dead ball, and we've seen it a number of times this year. I remember he scored an excellent goal, and we're calling one of the games at early this year with Matt Butner at Lake Macquarie on the grass field outside. His ability to curl the balls second to none in this league, so you can understand why he's there. Trying to curl it across the face to find a target here. He finds a target, but it's Semiwara who heads it back and says, have another try. You can see straight away he gets quite a lot of purchase on that ball when he's delivering it. Only a fairly diminutive guy.
Yeah, I think we all know set pieces can make or break games, and, you know, Aaron, the goal yesterday was from a set piece, so...
Opportunity curled in here. That looked tight. Referee right in the perfect position to call it, though. Peter McGuinness stunned down here. Here's another one, and this time Pate takes it cleanly. That looked very tight, but again, angles can be deceptive.
That's right. The referee's much closer than us, so whatever it may have looked like from here, obviously wasn't the case.
I'm talking about set pieces. That was the one that broke things open yesterday in extra time. It's the ball left undefended by Broadmeadow, and young Nelson King, who was outstanding for Western yesterday. We're talking Damien Zane loves to back the youth, and the youth paid him absolute rewards in terms of the majority of that game. It was, as Daniel McFarlane goes in with a firm tackle there, it was certainly a couple of the experienced campaigners in Hatfield. Won't come back to that. Opportunity floating in behind here. Crowley, one-on-one with the keeper, takes a strike and finds the back of the net. Don't worry about youth. Experience does the trick here. Braden Crowley, we said he'd be the avenue to goal, and he proves exactly that. You give him a chance one-on-one with the keeper, and he gets the lead for the home side. 1-0 Maitland early doors.
Beautiful little combination here on halfway. One touch to put him in behind, and what a finish there. It was bouncing and bobbling a little bit. Just got enough to chip the keeper. Certainly did.
There was a bit of a foot race there, and he showed a yard more of pace than Tyler Harrison, who was in pursuit. It was always going to be a tough one to cut him down, and he also knows, and that was as much, I guess, Braden's experience there. He knew that he didn't have a long time to play with that once he got into the box. He pulled one controlled touch and then pulled the trigger and make it 18 goals for the season.
That's right, a very experienced striker there. Knows exactly when and how to shoot. A little bit against the run of play here too. I think Edgeworth obviously had more of the half chances early on. A little bit more momentum, and just as easy as that.
22 goals last season, 18 already this year. He might not get the golden boot this year. Claimed it last year, but I'll tell you what, Maitland would not trade him for any other player in this league, Braden Crowley. He's been such a fixture here. He wears the captain's armband as well. Now Goodman. Edgeworth, all of a sudden you wonder how that just forced a little bit of a mental shift early. You had all the opportunities. Maitland take their first one. Ball into the box for young Jared Sutherland. Thinks about pulling the trigger. Jessup blocks it away. And it's seen down over halfway by Wara. Crowley gets a little touch in. Can't control it though. And they play wide here to Jackson. Jackson gets away from Thompson. Smale puts a boot in. It spills centrally, and here goes Jessup, gets a little touch, then gets a tug on the shirt. Either one would have been enough for a foul. And the referee's going to call him out here and have a chat, because that's what will be deemed cynical play. A little nonchalant shrug there from Jared McKechnie. There's been a little bit of PTSD there for Edgeworth, you think. The first time Maitland got a breakaway, they score a goal. We're not going to let them get a quick break again straight away.
That's right. Sometimes, as a midfielder more so, that's the sort of tackles you need to put in just to stop that counter-attack going ahead.
McFarlane, an absolutely outstanding inclusion since he joined from Central Coast United at the start of last season. Thompson, his experience playing it in, has played in a few different roles for this team this season. A couple of players that we've seen across the league this year that have basically had a crack at almost everything. One of those is your head coach of the Jets, Stephen Hoyle. One week he's a defender, the next week he's scoring goals.
That's right. I think it helps. You know, when you're a defender, you've got to think about what's the striker going to do. So when you go and play striker, you probably know what the defender's going to do. So it does help out a little bit.
Tends to be too some of the ones that you see as defenders that have got some good touch, some good power through a ball, and also a little bit of mobility but physicality about them, which describes Stephen. It describes obviously James Thompson as well. I'm thinking also in the women's game, Tanya Jones is a great example of someone who's gone both ends, and there's another name who's escaping me. Was at Charlestown last season.
Maddie Gallegos.
Maddie Gallegos, thank you. Yeah, those sorts of players, and some of them have done it Maddie did it with real aplomb last year for Charlestown.
Yeah, I think both the girls, Tanya Jones and Maddie Gallegos, have scored plenty of goals for their teams moving into that striker position.
Little flick on here, brought down by Shoemaker. Muddle gets a little nudge, shot taken, and almost put into orbit in the end. Even went over the net and sitting over by the back fence there. Missed everything.
I'm pretty sure he's had three shots on his left foot that have just bounced up just a little bit too high for him to get over.
So back to those players we're talking about. I know certainly Tanya Jones, there's a couple of strikers that were quite happy to see her going forward.
I definitely was, yeah. She's a tough defender to play against, very aggressive.
When you see that news, you're looking at your centre backs and going, that's your problem now. Yeah, she certainly doesn't. I remember seeing her play the year before. She sort of stepped in that role more so last year. And yeah, very physical, very tight marker. As you say, gave you not much. And you would have been very aware, I'm assuming, of her presence at most times.
That's it. Very happy to see her move up to striker.
Tyson Jackson lobs this one forward. Jessup there, just getting it away. And Goodman with an air swing, that hurts. Wire probes it forward. Corcoran, another one that's been a great addition to this Maitland side. Wire moves it straight along after the foul given. Broken up by Tyler Harrison. Floated wide now, and you see a lot of this ball getting cleared out. They'll use Jackson as a almost linchpin out wide. James Thompson controls this one down. Plays it forward to the danger man in Crowley. Back to goal, lays off for Muddle. Oh, he's going to wind up the way he's pulling it there. He did wind up in the end after a couple of touches. Not enough, though, to trouble the experience of Ben Conway.
Here, Pete McGuinness just down here, just asking for a little bit of composure from the Edgeworth team as they're playing out.
All floated long here. Smale will pick it off, though, from Conway at halfway. He can just play it back to Jessup, and he'll take his time. Enough time and space, probably could have almost set a picnic. Instead, he rolls it down the line to Smale. Jared Sutherland happy just to send it over the line, and apologises to a spectator in the crowd that he's nailed with the ball there. That's nice, isn't it?
It's very nice.
Don't see many footballers that are that polite. Ball put forward now by McManus for Goodman. He's got some pace, gets in behind Corcoran, who's no slouch either. Goodman streaking down there. Corcoran throws himself and the kitchen sink at that one and pushes it over the byline for another corner here. This will be, by my maths, Edgeworth's fourth corner.
Down that left-hand side, Goodman, he's got some pace behind him. I think if McManus can keep working.
Another quick corner here. Goodman into Niankuru, feeds it in, and it's taken right off the base of the post there by Taylor Pate. And nearly caught Maitland napping there. I think Maitland were just sort of watching Aaron Niankuru trotting over there, and then all of a sudden Flynn Goodman saw that opportunity. Smale now. Bouncing around, trying to take it away. Sutherland makes the tackle, gets a little nudge and earns the free kick. Referee nice and demonstrative with him there about getting the ball back and not running on with it and delaying things unnecessarily. Mason across to Conway now. Conway drives long. Finds ahead of Goodman. Muddle will get a boot in. Shoemaker takes it away. Now Goodman wide. Bumps off one. Now against Corcoran. Last touch. Another corner. Niankuru is going to get some leather poisoning over there. The amount of kicks he's getting just off from the corners.
I think Edgeworth just need to try and capitalise off one of these corners. I just say this is their 5th of the game.
This is, as I said, the favoured side for Niankuru. He'll try and get some real purchase on this ball, try and curl it back towards probably this pack of Wowries, Harrison, McManus. A little shorter. It's pushed away, not completely dealt with. Jones feeds it back into the box as McSeveny gets ahead to it. McKechnie all the way back to the captain in Jackson, who floats his forward, a little bit of backspin, not just looking for Goodman, drops it down, popped up, opportunity in the box. Is it? He's going to push across wide. Smale's going to try and control it. I was going to say, Hughes will be wanting them, Coach Hughes will be wanting them to clear that long of the box, and they do that. And headed forward, and Jared Sutherland can't quite navigate his way past Cameron Jessup.
Yeah, Maitland seem to clear their line, so they get first contact on the ball on those corners, but it seems to be Edgeworth that gets to every second ball. It's just popping out to the top of the box.
I just feel, as we said, you know, we talked about the 1, 2, 3 that they've had. Eventually one of those is going to get the laces through it if they keep allowing that from that sort of 15 to 18 yard range.
Aaron, other side! Back side!
McGuinness not happy with Aaron Niankuru and where he is. Aaron Niankuru seems a little perplexed. He's standing in the middle and got told other side, and he wasn't sure which side was the other side.
I think you had to play either side of him, so I'm not sure.
Whichever one you do, then's wrong. All played wide here. Smale scuffs the kick. Picked up by Jackson. He'll play it down the line to Sutherland. Sutherland just plays it back, but not with a whole lot of heat on it. Conway has to come out to the top of his 18-yard box to pick it up, lay it off for Wowries.
Come on, Jared, don't just run railway track. Get in there, Jared.
Wowries gets that ball on the angle forward. Now Goodman, nice touch back. Looking for a target in the box, floats it up too heavy for McManus. Sutherland appears at the same spot there near the penalty spot, and it beats everyone across, and this time it'll be a goal kick. Peter McGuinness is doing more talking than you and I at the moment.
Brings back memories. He actually coached me back around, I don't know how many years ago at Newcastle Jets. So some of the things he's saying, they're really resonating and bring back some of those memories.
Don't run, not train tracks and the other side. Huh? That's what I've heard so far. I know from talking to Pete that he made that move to bring Jared Sutherland in mid-season in the window, and obviously sees a lot in him as a youngster. And let's be fair, Pete McGuinness has coached in this league for a long time across a number of clubs and had outstanding success, not only just in terms of trophies, but in developing players as well. As Niankuru leaves this behind, Jones coming through, it'll bounce up, and it's going to be awkward there as the goalkeeper at this end. Just the speckled sun as the sun starts to set behind the trees, just probably for the next few minutes. He had full sun to start with there, Taylor Payton. Now the shadows are stretching across as we've got a player down over just outside the 18-yard box. I do love when you see that and you see a teammate just go and pat him on the back, and I'm almost like, I'm not quite sure that's the medical treatment that's required, but hopefully it helps. Luke Corcoran is the man. He's back up onto his haunches.
A little bit of moral support, I think it is.
I think if he's just
You'll be right, mate.
had a bit of a collision and copped the knock where you don't want to, or maybe had a bit of wind knocked out of him the way he's sort of just trying to open himself back up there, but we're back underway. Taylor Pate for Jessup. Jessup, not what he was looking for there with that ball. McManus now will look to turn him inside out, but Jessup gets a boot in. Smale has to pivot to go and take it back. Tracked down by Sutherland. Jackson gets beaten by Crowley now. Crowley cuts infield. Pushes it wide across to Corcoran. Decides he doesn't have the pace with the ball to take on Goodman. But Muddle will carve his way into the box, feeds it off. Little back heel. Well read there, Matt Jones cleaning up. That could have been very dangerous. Some nice touches there from Maitland in the build-up. Edgeworth straight away on the counter. McManus. And Sutherland getting more instructions. Sometimes it's tough when you're involved in someone that the coach sees a lot of potential and they're almost twice as hard on you, and you feel like you're copying an absolute hammering. But as I said, I think the understanding of the ceiling that Jared Sutherland has.
Yeah, I think it's tough when you're a winger or a fullback on the coach's side. You seem to get a lot more attention than anyone else.
Nice ball from McManus to Jackson. Can he control this inside the byline? Doesn't need to, just plays it into Thompson. Smart play from the captain. Corner number 6 in this first half for Edgeworth. It's crazy to think Maitland have had essentially 2 advanced opportunities. That one they had a moment ago and the one where they scored. We've had 85% of the ball down here, and it feels like 80% of that 85% has been in the 18-yard box. So Edgeworth, it's always, football's a game of taking your chances. You can have 20 chances, take none. The other has 1 and takes 1, they win. And that's what the balance of this one is at the moment. Niankuru curls this across the face, looking for a target. Wara is there. Well, they just tracked back, cleared the space, headed away. Here he goes, heading it down again. Harrison puts it into the box. In the mixer there, Corcoran. Offside flag goes up against Goodman.
Wara's been pivotal in these corners for Maitland. I think he's won probably 80% of the headers that have come into that area.
It's that experience, isn't it? We were talking about it before, having played in the AFC Pro League. He came here mid-season. He's been playing a lot of football. Now, obviously, as we said, called back into that Fijian squad. He's already been capped for Fiji. Well, they're not playing the likes of the Socceroos and those sorts of teams. They are playing that next tier down as they try and work their way up and build the Fijian football scene, which that AFC Pro League's a big part of. So they're playing that sort of football and consistent top-level football. He's showing that. I'll tell you what, jumps over Aaron Niankuru. That's a bit of a physical mismatch, that one. It's a big presence. Sammy Wari doesn't look like he'd look out of place on a rugby field, does he?
No, that's right. He could be part of the Fijian national rugby team. It's good to see more and more of these Pacific Islands starting to develop players that are playing at this level. As the ball into the box, beats one, then Shoemaker another chance. It's like the ball's got a magnet for him around that 6 to 18 yard box range. As beautiful ball from Crowley, out in front for Lundy here. Hasn't had a lot to do today, Regan Lundy. Plays it back. Thompson, will he pull the trigger? Tries to curl it around, spills off, and now it'll be out for Corcoran, who's got absolutely acres of space there. He'll push it into the box. Headed just over the crossbar. Daniel McFarlane was not far away. And you would have absolutely felt for Edgeworth if that had gone in, because 3 chances for 2 goals would have been a rough way to start this one. That's right. I think, Edgeworth have obviously had a lot of ball up this attacking end, and Maitland now have caught him out, sort of twice. Obviously got a goal the first time for that counter-attack. They need to be very careful with their rest defence.
Muddle and Shoemaker both throwing themselves absolutely every inch of themselves into those challenges there. Muddle won the challenge, but Edgeworth took the ball away in the end. Now Edgeworth get a throw just over halfway. Conway drives it long back over halfway. Just a clearing kick. And go all the way down to his opposite man. And Taylor Pate will take his time, wait, draw in a player, and then pick it up and immediately move things on to Cameron Jessup. Muddle lays it back off to Jessup. And then he rushed to move things along here. Thompson, the quick flick. I feel like that was a play that he thought was on, but no one else was aware of. Ball played wide. McManus again, he's been busy. Down this right flank, curls it into the canteen. And that's the problem of coming down this right flank, as you said, Tara, and not getting it right, is you're going to get some feedback as you come past the dugout.
That's right. The coach will tell you how to curl that one in a little bit better.
Just wait for the second ball to be taken off the field, and Goodman obliges. Jessup floats it down now, looking for Crowley. He managed to beat his man in Harrison, but Couldn't win the ball. Now Jones, a little bit of space, and he looks at his options, realises nothing in front, so goes back. Now they take the space on Edgeworth. Played forward for Shoemaker, touch a little inaccurate. Certainly throws himself in the mix at his Kai Shoemaker. Here's a little nudge to Semiwaro. There's some appeals from Maitland. It might have been a foul. There's one problem about being a big burly defender sometimes, Tara, is those little innocuous ones, and you go to ground, you're probably not going to get the call that someone a little more slight might. Goodman for McManus. Back to Goodman. He's overstepped it. He's got Jackson wide. Can he curl it in? Feeds it in, but McFarlane's there for the second clean up and goes long here. Braden Crowley trying to go on the run. Takes it away from the boots of Harrison. He looks up. He's surrounded by Edgeworth jerseys. He'll have to try and do it himself until someone else arrives. He hits the accelerator around the outside. Jones, little nudge on him. Crowley could have gone for the easy option there and thought to take himself to ground. Stays and holds his feet. They go back to Muddle now. He'll play it wide to Corcoran. In the blink of an eye, we've gone from Edgeworth pressing and pushing towards goal to now Maitland at the other end. End-to-end football. Maitland looking for a second. Adam Hughes equally up barking instructions at the other end. Nice ball through for Smale. Beats one, beats two, beats a third in the box. Can he pull the trigger? He can, but finds a defender in Sutherland. Had all the time in the world there in the end. Muddle wins out, takes a strike. Gets blocked away. Caught up in the defensive wall. Jessup just brings down ahead of Niankuru. Jessup down McFarlane. A little nudge on him. Niankuru keeps his feet. McManus cuts inside. Can he find a ball here to Niankuru? Ball spills through. McSeveny will just play it away very calmly, but everyone in Maitland just sitting in third gear, not any rush. McKechnie now. Shoemaker. McKechnie into the box. Plays it in, and we'll have corner number 7. Abacus to keep count of all these corners. My, this is end to end.
It is. I think when Maitland win the ball, in their defensive half, they're obviously looking for Braden Crowley to get that breakaway, get that counter attack, get a little bit of possession.
If Edgeworth do score from this corner, Tara, I'll tell you what, Adam Hughes is going to be absolutely ropeable about the two players that just stood there and watched that ball sitting. Dangerous one again. Corner number 7. Lucky 7 is it for Edgeworth. Niankuru curls in. Goes to ground, brought down. Sutherland can't control it. Sky this time. It wasn't Kai Shoemaker. It was Xander Wowries.
Same fate. Tried to get the volley, couldn't get over it. Surprised that ball, that just no one got their head on it. It just seemed to just pass through everyone.
Aaron Sutherland got the awkward bounce. You feel hard for him. I mean, had he been a step forward or a step back, he probably buries that. But, again, could have, would have, should have. Wasn't necessarily his positioning. It was just where the ball ended up landing. So, the thing is, though, you know that the way football works, that Maitland can't keep giving those chances, letting that ball come to ground and spill inside the 18-yard box. Because at some point, someone in black and red will bury that into the back of the net, no matter how good of a goalkeeper Taylor Pate is.
That's right. You can only ride your luck for so long.
Jackson. Taking his time with the throw. He's going to wind up and go long here for Sutherland. Smale gets a little touch on it. Catching the last touch as it goes over the sideline in a contest between he and Thompson. So Smale with a throw here. Jessup down. McKechnie a header. Well controlled by McManus. Gets the deflection off him from the Jessup pass and goes out of play. Reece McManus doesn't seem to agree with that decision, I think it's fair to say. Fairly firm shake of the head. And there's one of those slips you're talking about, Tara. Reece McManus just went to take off and he was quicker than his shoes were. There was a little bit of sauce added to that one. There's definitely a challenge off the ball, but there's a little tap. A foul is enough. The referee's handled that well. Luke Corcoran certainly added a little with the theatrical noise. It's all part of the fun and games. Semiwara now for McFarlane. Wide to that man we just touched on, Corcoran. There's another one of those slides, Danny McFarlane. McFarlane looking long for Thompson this time. Wowries is there with the header. Played down. Little touch on here. Opportunity in the box. Can't quite find Crowley. They look straight for him, and Tyson Jackson knew that was exactly what they were going to do and just block that lane. Captain denies captain. Now in behind. McSeveny. Former Western man did enough there just to clear it long. Muddle tries to feed it through. Turned over. Niankuru now. Sutherland. Well, I thought he might have made the run to the outside. Instead, he is the one to set the play. Plays it on to McManus. Gets the return. Now Sutherland under pressure from Muddle. Pulls up, rolls it out off the outside of the right. He's gone down here, Jared Sutherland. Hopefully nothing major. Fed into the box, headed on just wide. McManus, that was a good chance. Did well to get contact, just couldn't quite get it on target. Jared Sutherland just gone down, holding, is it the left ankle? Very slow to his feet. A bit of trouble bearing weight as well, hopefully, as I say, nothing too major.
And another good little chance there for Edgeworth. McManus had sort of a defender right in front and behind him, so it was a little difficult to get good contact on that one.
Farland now as they try and work it out. Jessup to Smale. Turn pass. Farland with a little turn away for Jessup here, just trying to break free of that press. And now got there with Smale. Shoemaker in hot pursuit. Crowley dropping in to find it. Sends the ball wide here. Corcoran with a bit of space. That's a nice delivery. Corcoran pulls it up. Just misread the run of Thompson and it's turned over. I wonder about the pinpoint passing there from Braden Crowley. Can't just bang goals, but he can do some magical things there. Foot race here. Sammy Wara shows a little turn of pace there against Goodman. Goodman gets a touch. Wara will try and shepherd it across the byline. Well, no, he just keeps it inside. When Goodman tried to go shoulder to shoulder, and there's going to be very few players in this league that would often win out shoulder to shoulder with Sammy Wara.
Yeah, good little battle there. I think Goodman thought he might get him with pace, but Wara's just a smart defender getting his body in front.
Played forward now. Thompson doesn't quite get there. Jackson gets a little touch on, and Shoemaker will drop it all the way back to Conway. Crowley pushes up the press, but they release with Harrison. It's been an outstanding half of football. We've been absolutely blessed over the last 2 days of the Standard. And it just talks to this competition, the Northern New South Wales NPL. McSeveny trying to muscle out against McManus, and out comes Taylor Pate.
Good run. Hey, Ruth. Ruth, just curl there early. That's the ball we're talking about.
Pate getting called to move on by the referee. Rolls it out to Jessup. Feeds it down to Braden Crowley. Heavy touch from Crowley, but manages to track across and take it. Pass not quite where he needed it this time, and Jones picks it off, but McFarlane cleans up the crumbs. And play it through midfield to Muddle. He's got a little bit of time and space, and he'll take that on for the time being before playing it wide to Smale. Muddle again. Thompson. Smale looking at his options. He's got his coach almost literally in his ear there. 70 now to McFarlane. Floats it long, Smale in space, but he's only in space for one reason, because he got a head start. Offside flag goes up. Maitland's starting to get a little bit more territory and possession into this game, and it's starting to level out. And still, you feel Edgeworth have probably left a little bit lacking across these opening exchanges in terms of not taking a couple of those opportunities with how much time and possession they've had down at the southern end on the attack.
Yeah, I think as we said before, football's all about the chances that you do take, and you know, Maitland probably have had a couple of chances and they've taken one, and you know, a little bit of luck as well that probably hasn't gone Edgeworth's way in that 18-yard box.
Niankuru now for Sutherland. Tries to play it forward. Jessup again. Yeah, Wara have been outstanding for them today. Both been busy. Plenty of workload. Talked about it yesterday, calling the game between Western and Broadmeadow. The defending of Mana Iwasaki was the talking point in terms of the reason that, well, one of the big reasons that they won, not just those goals that were scored. Maybe later on that will be the talking point here. If Maitland are to go on to win, and the way that this game's playing out continues, then undoubtedly the likes of Jessup and Wara will be probably the unsung heroes normally. A lot of credit goes to whoever it is that gets that breakthrough, the likes of a Crowley. Is Niankuru here. McKechnie makes a run. Niankuru fires it. Was there a touch? No touch. Just seen away by Pate. Very close to curling its way under the crossbar. Pate read it well, though, and decided just to let it sail beyond.
It's a great little piece of space there that Niankuru's got himself into, turned on top of the box. Maitland wouldn't want him to have that much space very often.
Anyone that's seen Aaron Niankuru play in recent seasons knows that he only needs a fraction of space to take those sorts of opportunities. If you offer him more than that, he'll often pay. And that one was not far away. It might have just been a sider for him. The ball comes down from the header here. McFarlane to Muddle. Shoemaker's been industrious in midfield. He's had a couple of chances, hasn't been able to capitalise yet. Crowley plays it on here. Brought down by Lundy. Crowley again with the ball. Can play it forward. Well, that was for Thompson, but goes behind for Smale. He comes across and just on the drift. McFarlane with the ball. Play it now to Wara. Muddle put in close quarters. Harris comes out, makes a read that wasn't quite there. The ball falls now. Option for Muddle, and he sends it soaring, not only over the crossbar, goes over the back netting as well. And we'll race away. Again, like some of the chances early for Edgeworth, he'd love to have that over again because he just pulled back on that and got underneath it a little too much.
Yeah, you can see Lundy and Crowley are still causing problems here for Edgeworth at the back. They just seem to be on the same page, and when one of them gets the ball, the other one's making a forward run, and, you know, it's one touch pass in behind to that forward run.
Something that's notable when you watch and call the Maitland games is you have those two, and they're so interchangeable. And all of a sudden a defender will look up and he's been marking Braden Crowley, and then he looks up, sees Regan Lundy and goes, no, I've got Braden Crowley, before he realises Braden Crowley's 15, 20 metres away, and he was supposed to be taking Regan Lundy. And that's where they catch you napping. Good teams that play with front twos and front threes where they can be interchangeable. Broadmeadow often do it as well. Just it's that piece of just, oh no, I'm on the, you know, the central striker, I'm on the striker, or I'm on the left forward, and all of a sudden that person's now playing in the middle or playing on the other side, and two of you are defending the same man and no one's defending the third. And here comes Goodman. Pirouettes left, right. Pirouettes himself off the ball. It's played forward. Crowley puts it down and right in the favour of Matt Jones for Goodman. Niankuru now. Jackson making a run wide here. Will Shoemaker see him? Sutherland, heavier touch there. Drops his head immediately and pulls up. Now the ball played wide. Might be a bit too quick for even the pace of Matt Smale there, and it will be indeed. Adam Hughes will slow things down by just pushing it across the defence, but Edgeworth looking to quickly move it on. Harrison passes it to Jackson to take the throw. McManus in the contest with McSeveny, and not happy with the fact he felt he was being held. The referee just plays on though. Jones curling it in there, headed away again by McSeveny. Shoemaker puts it back in the mix. Awara's there. It's like headed tennis at the moment. Niankuru gets a little touch on it. McManus would have liked to have got more on that. Just scuffed it up and under. And it was watched wide of the goals on Taylor Pate.
Just feels like Edgeworth have just had the same sort of chance. Every shot they've had, it's bounced, you know, right before they've struck it. It had to be a volley, probably on the weaker foot.
So Pate will go along with the goal kick. Throw-in will go the way of Edgeworth. Late in this first half. Updates from around the ground. Late Macquarie leading Broadmeadow 1-0 late in their first half of the minor semi-final at Spears Point. This ball goes over the sideline off Smale, and it will be Edgeworth's throw. Jackson. It's a ball down. McManus is going to look to wind up. A role he played very effectively at Azuri last year. The long throw into the box. Put it in the mixer and hope for the best. This is a very long throw here when you consider it's almost a 45-degree angle to the penalty spot. He managed to get it in there. A little bit of wind in his face as well. That's impressive. He's almost throwing that directly down Breeze Tara.
Another one of those slips.
I don't think I'd be able to throw it with wind behind me anywhere near that far.
I think I'd throw a shoulder if I tried to put one of those in, but it's a great opportunity for a set piece to have a long throw.
Charlton used it almost without fail in the attacking third last year. That was their go-to. All brought down here, and McFarlane sends it long. Wowries has a few metre head start here on Crowley and does get there. Oh, there's another slip. Not Bambi on ice out there at the moment. Everyone's slipping over. He picks up here. Goodman in behind here. Taniwara is deceptively quick. Talked about him playing on a rugby field. With his size and his pace, he could make some impact, I tell you what.
He could. I think when we saw Goodman run before, obviously he's got a lot of pace, but Wara's, he's keeping up.
The funny thing is, I thought Luke Corcoran was quick. Goodman burnt him, and then Wara's keeping up with Goodman, but probably carrying an extra, I'm going to say probably an extra 10 kilos at least. Like, it's amazing. It's been everywhere so far, Wara. Looking for the flag, and it does go Nankuru. Oh, he rattles the crossbar. Nice finish, all for nothing. Wouldn't have mattered anyway as the flag goes up. Just got a little bit of a jump. He's quick, Aaron Nankuru, but not that quick. That one will manage the clock here and just happy to take their time. Wara decides that he was going to take it, but Pate will come out and take it. He wants sending everyone out to the sunshine, away from the shadows. Long driven one, brought down by the shoulder of Thompson, falls for Jackson and the Eagles, and now they push it wide. Jessup a little feint there, and there's another slip. Reece McManus might want the long studs at half time.
Yeah, when we came off the field yesterday, checked under the boots, and there was a lot of grass stuck to them, so I'm sure a bit of cleaning, maybe change of boots at half time.
Goodman gets a nudge there from Corcoran. Corcoran appealing. I'm not sure how else Slim Goodman could have gone down like that. I was going to say, I feel like the statement getting out the long studs might be lost on the modern day footballer. Everyone's got just, short moulded, no difference. But do they even make like long blades and things now for
steel studs? I don't know. They're a bit longer, but I couldn't remember the time that I last wore medals.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a long lost art form, I think, but it might be something to players to be considering on these sorts of surfaces, especially because there is such a variety in terms of both the field types, but also the grass types used around northern New South Wales with different environments. We could get into the weeds of the grass, pardon the pun, but we might not. We might just deal with this free kick here. Sutherland taken well over the crossbar there by McManus instead. Another chance goes away for the Edgeworth Eagles.
We spoke earlier about Ian Kuru being the set-piece master. I probably would have thought he might have been over that one there rather than McManus.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. Very similar spot to where we saw him rattle the crossbar, and the deflection went in against Adamstown earlier this year at Lake Macquarie. So he instead will now take, I think it might be up to their 9th corner now. Curls this one in. A little bit more float on this one. Almost found Sutherland, but Muddle just got in front. McKechnie will come back and clean up the crumbs. Floats it up there, and Goodman trying to get his head onto it. Nankuru takes it to the outside of the 18-yard box, pulls up, tries to feed it through. That wasn't a bad shot considering the close quarters he was working in, but Pate down to it just inside that left post.
He tried to just sneak it in that front post there, try to catch Pate out.
Well, he's got the full shadow now, Pate, so more consistent for his vision as they try and play this out for Muddle now. The referee says that will do us for the first half, and just the sole goal to Braden Crowley the difference. Maitland lead 1-0. The winner of this, of course, will go through to next week's preliminary final at Magic Park up against Broadmeadow, the defending premiers and champions, for a spot in the grand final. But there is still 45 minutes minimum to play here. And Tara has been an outstanding half of football. Maitland got that goal against a run of play, but that possession and position battle has certainly balanced out a little.
That's right. I think Edgeworth are probably a little bit unlucky not to have got at least one in the back of the net. They've had a few half chances, but Maitland have just been more clinical in the first half.
It'll be interesting to see what comes out of the sheds come the second half. We'll wait and see. We'll take a short break here on the Northern New South Wales YouTube channel. Rejoin you in about 10 with the second half. With the minor semi-final in the men's Northern New South Wales NPL, it is Maitland FC Mag.
Responsibility.
Yes, you are big.
Your heart and your head don't always agree.
Ah, like, hey, it's a good deal.
Boring.
Yes.
I love it.
Let's make an offer.
Oh, let's think this through.
But there's one thing they can agree on. With local expertise, great rates, plus a highly rated app, Newcastle Permanent is good for your head and good for your heart.
Gigi, I love you. It's a big responsibility. Yes, you are big.
Your heart and your head don't always agree.
Ah, like Hayes, good deal. Boring, yes.
I love it.
Let's make an offer.
Oh, let's think this through.
But there's one thing they can agree on. With local expertise, great rates, plus a highly rated app, Newcastle Permanent is good for your head and good for your heart.
Well, welcome back to Cook Square Park. We're set for the second half here of the minor semi-final. Edgeworth Eagles up against the Maitland Magpies. The Battle of the Birds for a spot up against Broadmeadow Magic next week at Magic Park in the preliminary final. These two teams know it's a simple path from here. 2 more wins to the big dance is all they need. Makes it sound nice and easy, Tara Andrews.
It does, and I think if you're Edgeworth right now, you probably think it's not that easy, obviously, to come back down from 1-0. I think, like we talked about earlier, they had the better chances in the first half. They need to keep creating those chances and I think tighten up a little bit just to try and stop the Maitland counter-attack.
Oh, here we go, second half all set. Cook Square Park almost covered now in shadow as the sun sets behind us here. One of the highest points in Maitland. Breeze settling in, the temperature dropping in terms of the air, but in terms of the game, the temperature heating right up over the second 45, and that sort of challenge there really sets the tone as Shoemaker goes shoulder to shoulder with Thompson. Interesting to know what those conversations were at half-time, Tara. I mean, we've probably got a fair idea from what Pete McGuinness had to say because we heard plenty of it in the first half.
That's right. I'm sure he probably would have said to the boys, you know, try and stay nice and calm. Obviously, they're down 1-0, but they've had plenty of chances. Keep doing what they're doing. A little bit more composure up top. And can they try and tighten things at the back to try and stop that counter-attack with Lundy and Crowley for Maitland.
On the other side, Adam Hughes, I'm guessing it would have been reset and do the same thing again. Not too complex either. What we did worked. We saw away a lot of attacks.
It's a simple game when you think about it like that.
Tyson Jackson gives away a foul there on Matt Smale. And the good news for those players that were getting lots of active coaching in the first half is they're on the other side this time, so it'll be someone else's turn. You would have been worried if you were, you know, one of those players and he said, I'll switch sides. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think I want to be over here for another baking. Or praising maybe if you do the right thing. I haven't seen much of that yet. They had plenty of opportunities, Edgeworth, as we said in the first half. It's only a matter of just finding one of those on the balance of them. If they can do that again in this half, you'd have to think that this is going to be a tight finish as they look to get Crowley in behind Harrison again. Just again, the little deft movements, showing all the experience of Braden Crowley there up against a very strong defender in Harrison. And still just getting the wood over him on a lot of runs here. And all the way back to Jessup, who feeds it through for Smale. Smale takes his time, pulls back as Sutherland arrives. Thought about floating it in there, decides he'll play it wide to Wara here. Corcoran's pushing forward and he'll get the ball. Returns it to Wara. Not leaving much space for them here. Edgeworth happy to press up and try and force them to keep moving the ball and force them into uncomfortable passes. Jessup, Corcoran making a little bit of a floating run here, and that's where he tries to look for, but can't quite get the angle. That was well dealt with there by Matt Jones, and Goodman will give him the return pass. He continues to push through, cuts inside, looking against Wara. Wara shoulder to shoulder. But the referee's going to say there's a little too much contact with the arm, and it will be a foul, and they'll come back after playing the advantage. I think he's got that one absolutely right. So Jones now over the dead ball. Takes his time. It's pulled up as we get rid of the spare football. Goodman deals with that. Clutch of players looking to advance from the 18-yard box. He goes straight down the line to Goodman. Plays it through the legs of one, and it's slid in and sent away by Regan Lundy, and just for something different, we'll have an Edgeworth corner.
How many corners is that?
I think it's double digits now. Double digits. 9 of which have been taken by this man, Aaron Niankuru. The only one that wasn't was when they rushed a quick one through Goodman. He'll soon be matching his jersey number. Again, this will be the favoured side for in the right boot to try and curl it in. He'll be able to hold this one up a little bit with the wind behind him as well. Push it into that breeze. And he does that. Hits, probably overdoes this one. Thrown to ground. Play on, says the referee. They were both tangled up. I'm assuming he thought they were giving as good as they got as Jones takes a strike. That was good, just coming around the edge of the 18-yard box. Parried away by Pate. Shoemaker trying to hold the space rather than go after the ball. And Matt Smale says, I'll take that and I'll clear it long past halfway. Thank you very much. That was well struck. I thought Jones was going to try and set himself up for a cross there, and he just took a crack, backed himself.
Yeah, and I think if it was just a little bit further either side of the keeper, I had a good chance of going in. Great pace on the ball.
We talked about it in the first half, the speckled light at this end, and now Taylor Pate's got it at the other end. He's got a bit of sun in his eyes probably for the next, I'm going to say 5 or 6 minutes, and then the shadows should get him, but he's going to be looking to the sun when it's coming from this grandstand side of Cook Square Park. Now Edgeworth floated into the box looking for Goodman. Little spill there from Pate on the juggle. Hard in mouth sort of stuff for the Maitland FC fans in attendance here at Cook Square Park, but they avoid a blemish on the score sheet. Corcoran goes down again. He's been in the walls today as Luke Corcoran. He's back up and okay here. Takes the throw to Muddle, gets the return pass. Catch, he nearly does his own ankle standing on the football there. Crowley floating it in behind, looking for Thompson, but Thompson wasn't prepped for the run. Seeing messages from some sources in the crowd that apparently, I might just hold that because Nian Curry is sneaking in behind. No, McSeveny gets the push away. Now it's pushed over, and that will be corner number 10. And apparently, unsurprisingly, Ben Conway's getting quite a lot of constructive criticism and feedback from the fans down there, and has been getting involved in some entertaining conversations. That's the spirit we like to see. So corner here, Nian Kuru. This will be his 10th, their 11th. Loaded into the box, headed away. McFarlane this time gets up to it. Crowley brings it further back. Kai Shoemaker this time gets connection and gets it on target. Just didn't have enough heat to really challenge. He did well there to get his boot up to where he did to connect and get a strike away.
He did. He was really trying to jump up to get good contact on that ball.
As much purchase as he might have liked, but he continued to persist here. He comes in and goes over the ball. Tries to convince the referee it should be his throw in, but the referee having absolutely zero of that. And Goodman just pointing out to all the officials where the throw needs to be taken from. The day that a player actually takes the ball on the mark of where they're supposed to, it'll be quite surprising. Trying to grab that extra couple of metres. And Sutherland, he just slipped there. He even ended up with a little unintentional handball when he fell. Ice skates. We suggested, they should have been listening, we suggested the long studs. I'm not sure any of them have them in their bag. But
that's right, yeah, I don't know. I think metal studs probably would have helped today, but I guess we'll just see a few more plays keep flipping.
Shot taken here, wound up there from Lundy. Falls to Smale, can he get it back to Lundy? No, takes a shot himself. Lundy just absolutely bereft of why that didn't happen. He was there open at the top of the 18-yard box, curled in. Just pushed away, not far enough yet for McFarlane to pick it up though. Corcoran does keep it in. Matt Jones dispossessed. Corcoran curls it into the box. Arriving late, Smale just collides with Jackson. A little surprised that wasn't called. Lundy comes back with it. If I was a little surprised, Peter McGuinness was very surprised. And Tyson Jackson tries to control this one inside the byline. Under pressure again, Smale. We'll push it across the byline, the sideline for a throw.
Oh, and some entertaining stuff there. I think Edgeworth have had some really good desperate defending to not let Maitland get that shot away, blocking shots.
Must be something about this end because they just keep on creating shots either side. As Edgeworth in the first half, and now Muddle comes in and will have a corner for Maitland. It's very much just different colours, but in the same outcomes that we had for a lot of the first half. Can Maitland take those chances, though? Because 1-0's a tough lead to come back from in a big game. 2-0 is a big deficit as it starts to push on.
That's right. I still don't think Maitland will be feeling comfortable with that 1-0 lead. It's easy to change a game. 2 hands aloft from Muddle. Curls it towards the back post. Keeper slips. Oh, my. McSeveny, that was a prime opportunity because Conway had lost his footing and was sliding. He tried to react late, but I think he would have been beaten if that was on target. It was inches high of the crossbar. Well-worked corner. He might be calling for the long studs before the end of the game. Well, I think there's a goalkeeper. A lot of goalkeepers these days wear metal studs all the time, so I'd be curious as to what sort of studs he's got. Played into the box now by Shoemaker. Corcoran tries to play it out. Goodman pushing in, and Corcoran just clubs it over the sideline. It'll be a throw deep in attacking territory for Edgeworth here. They take the quick throw. Goodman feeds it in, headed away by McSeveny. Pulling off headers at both ends. McManus takes a deflection, and again, another corner for Edgeworth. Again, interesting there. As soon as that ball spilled out, there was no real desire from any Maitland player to turn and chase. They kind of all just looked and relied on it spilling away. I feel with the pace it was going at, there might have been just that small chance they could have retrieved that and not seen a 12th corner. Then Kuru, he slips as he hits the corner. Flying out through the pack, Taylor Pate, well taken, well read. It's starting to become beyond humorous at this point, the amount of players that are sliding over. As you said, if they hadn't just watched a little bit of yesterday's game, they would have known. That's right. You probably thought I was silly telling you that it was a bit slippery, but... I never think you're silly, Tara. Always insightful. That's why we've got you on here as the analyst. It is interesting, isn't it, to think, even the Maitland players, you'd think they would know the surface a little better. Thompson with a nice touch there, plays it out in front of Crowley. It's a little heavy, and Harrison gets a jump again. There's that slip. Conway, I've never heard the crowd so excited today. Even when Crowley scored, they're more excited when Conway's slipping. And they're letting him know about it. It's going to be a long afternoon for Ben Conway down there. It's been a couple of slips for him. I think you'd be getting nervous every time the ball comes down to him now. I just need the old stick just to clean the grass clippings out of the boot just to maximise your chances at least, because that's part of it, right, as you're saying. It's all the grass that builds up. And Thompson fakes the throw. We've got a little bit of everything happening. Corcoran. Just gets a little wording up from the 4th official there. I'm already having a little chat with Corcoran saying don't go any further forward. Wowries plays it across to Jackson. A deflection off the boot of Smale, and it'll spin out over the sideline at halfway, and the Eagles will have a throw there. Jackson meanders down the sideline and goes backwards anyway to McKechnie. Wowries. Forward to Jackson. Heavy touch and turned over. And probably best described as an optimistic pass from Maitland. Harrison does well to beat a couple. McKechnie floats it wide. Corcoran interjects though and breaks it up for the time being. Shoemaker now has a little bit of time and space. Will proceed his way out to the right. Lays it off out there for McManus. Gets a return. Cross to Jones now. And use the full width of this Cook Square Park. McKechnie with a turn in between two defenders. Pulls up. Corcoran harassing and haranguing in tight quarters. Now back to Jones. Tuck to the outside. Down the line. Goodman there now. Cuts in towards the 18-yard box. Feeds it in, and that'll be corner number 13. Peter McGuinness, best described as frustrated at the moment, I think, Tara. That's right. A good little bit of possession there for Edgeworth. So I'm going to see the first of the changes getting ready to come. Tay Power getting ready to come in.
Wondered when it would occur and what impact they'll have. There was huge impact last night in the game. Two of the subs scoring for Western in that 3-0 win as this one curled in again, and Muddle loses it over the byline, and we'll have another corner. Well, that's the corner count, something like 14-3, 14-2.
I think you're about right. I think, as I said earlier, if they could just capitalise on one of these corners.
We've seen it all this year from corners. We've seen some stunning set pieces taken. We've seen some Olympicos even in the men's competition this year. So unlikely we'll see it from that side with the way Niankuru curls the ball, but it's been brought down here. Bicycle kick over the top. Falls to the post. Push forward. Harrison got it on target, but absolutely no sting on it. He would have been... he would have been a short price favourite if you're wondering who headed it from a set piece, but if you're wondering who nailed one from the 18-yard box, you wouldn't expect him. As Matt Smale gets in behind, plays it behind. Oh, a little slip there in the box. Jackson gets it clear. Referee says play on. Jones drives it over the top looking for Sutherland. Jessup gets the head to it. McFarlane well controlled. Good deft touch does Daniel McFarlane there in midfield. Jessup on it again. Moira, his pass is broken up. Now they come to Corcoran. They're going to press on him. He lays it off for Thompson on the advance run. Thompson going to try and accelerate. Shoemaker throws himself in there. There's another slip. Thompson works his way into the box, just throws McKechnie to the side, and they'll play the advantage. No advantage to be had. And now we're going to start to see a change for both sides here, I would suggest. Might be interesting to see what we see more of, Tara. Edgeworth corners or players falling over. It's pretty close at the moment.
It is.
So Corcoran will come off. We've seen him struggling with those what appear to be ankle issues, and Tay Power will come on. Very like-for-like substitution. Power, an end-to-end sort of player, exactly like Corcoran is. He'll keep busy. Corcoran's done a great job, but as you said, he's really struggled a few times there with some of the knocks and collisions. Edgeworth having some conversations here too. Looks like we'll see a change at the next stoppage for the Eagles. Joey Smith, as he oft is, will be the first change. Just Taylor Pate just parking himself over that one. A bit of hip and shoulder. Will be more at home in the AFL midfield, just parking himself over that ball.
I mean, you've seen plenty of defenders do that, right? You're trying to shield the ball to go out, and to see a goalkeeper do it outside their box, risky business.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, all well and good when it works out, but when it doesn't, my oh my, it could backfire on you, because if that ball gets popped back the other way, it only takes someone with a loose boot at open goal. And all of a sudden you're looking for a hole to bury yourself in. Niankuru skips across field. Nothing presents. Cuts back the other way. Plays it forward. Little back heel. Can he pull the trigger? Muddle did well. Now they pull the trigger. Deflected away at the line. Edgeworth. It's almost like they can't buy a goal at the moment. Flynn Goodman. Beautiful spin against Muddle. Well, he pulled the trigger all right. He put absolutely everything through it. Maybe a few less Weet-Bix in the morning for Flynn Goodman might be the answer.
Great little piece of combination play there from Niankuru, and I think McManus up top holding it. Little back heel. Just couldn't finish that. It's the right height for Pate to just get a palm to.
Updates from around the ground. Still 1-0 in the women's minor semi-final. 62 and a bit minutes gone there at Spears Point. Firmly in the balance as well. Magic side can find a couple of goals very quickly with some of the attacking players, the likes of Wimberley Wright and Coat they've got in that team.
It's the second ball. We need to win the second one. Get around him.
Jared Sutherland making his way back to the bench here after that replacement. This one bouncing around. Little fumble again from Taylor Pate. A nudge just given there. In the end, that's the end of Wowries. Almost a free hit at that point, I think. I think that's probably what's going through his mind. Is I can give him a little nudge here. He's already got the ball. He's going to have essentially a goal kick here, or he's going to have a free kick in the same spot.
That's right. A little bit of frustration there from Edgeworth as well, I would say. It starts to build. You can't get it in the back of the net. A little bit more frustrated. Start to come out into play.
So Pate with the long one. Had a couple of nervous moments. Ball's close to the crossbar. A couple of fumbles as well. Keeping a clean sheet last week. Yeah, aiming to try and do the same again here and steer his side to a better performance than they could conjure in season 2025. Going into the box here. Goodman on target. There's the one. Flynn Goodman calm and composed at the penalty spot. Steered it home. That is a wonderful header. A wonderful delivery. And Edgeworth are right back in this one. 1-1 here in the second half.
And Joseph Smith just kept that alive on the right-hand side. Battled to get the ball back. Allowed that cross to come in. And then what a finish. Pate had no chance to save that one.
Come on! We fucking roll them now!
Edgeworth back in this one now, all tied up at 1-1. Now, Maitland pushing forward. Edgeworth finally taking opportunity. Lights kick in here. Like a bit of everything. It looked like a rugby union ruck. An AFL hip and shoulders. Now we've got... The referee just asked them to move away from each other. I wasn't sure what the whistle was for there. Letting plenty go here for both sides. Letting the football do the talking. Jackson. And Edgeworth go back to back here and just take the wind out of the sails of the Magpies. Pass a little inaccurate there by Power. Wowries with the throw. McKechnie back to Wowries. Wowries gets some attention from Regan Lundy. Advantage played here for the contact on Niankuru. Jones takes a strike just wide. You thought for a moment Edgeworth had snatched the lead. Not to be. The deadlock stays. 1-1. Taylor Pate, though, looking up. It was interesting. Sammy Wara got caught well out. He was up here in the midfield and made an agricultural challenge on Aaron Niankuru. They played advantage. He just didn't have the opportunity to get back there, and it left a gaping hole, which Matt Jones nearly took full advantage of.
Yeah, and I think that goal for Edgeworth has just put a little bit of wind in their sails, a bit more confidence. It'll be interesting to see how Maitland reacts now.
Wara plays it forward, blocked by Shoemaker. Now Niankuru feeds it in behind for Goodman. Puts it into the box. McManus, blind turn. Now cuts back. Niankuru trying to pounce. They play it back to their keeper. Not completely dealt with. Jones is there again. Edgeworth pressing, pushing, looking for the lead. Shoemaker, nothing presents in front, so he goes wide to Goodman. Goodman cuts back against the grain, floats it towards that back post. Bobbles around just wide, but again, Edgeworth first to the ball as it falls. And creating chances, the Eagles. Can they convert another? Different level of animation from the Edgeworth bench now, isn't it?
That's right.
I think Pete McGuinness is looking to substitute you out there, Tara.
Yeah, looking much happier at the moment. He can feel the momentum now in his team as well, Pete McGuinness. A couple of chances, they're winning the ball back as soon as it comes out.
Isn't it amazing what that one goal can do? You can see even just the interaction between a couple of Maitland players, a lot more terse, a lot more tense. They had control of the game at 1-0, and they're doing well, creating a lot of the chances. Now all of a sudden Edgeworth pushing. Joey Smith again, delivering into the box. Semiwara gets to the front, heads it away. Smith just steps over that, lets it go for, I think he's now the 15th corner. Plenty of corners down there. That man Niankuru again. Looking to curl it in. Plenty of numbers in the box from Edgeworth, congesting the space. Maitland forced to get all their players into that 18-yard box. Floated up over the bar, and this goes out of play. Ben Conway just barking some instructions to his team, asking them to come back, as he knows that Maitland, if they get the opportunity to go quickly here, will. Headed forward by Jackson. No runners, so must be watchful from McSeveny as Pate comes out. Get down towards the final 20 or so. Temperature dropping here at Cook Square. Reaffirming to us that despite the wonderful weather earlier today that felt like spring, it is still very much winter for a couple more days.
Beautiful temperature to play football. Not too hot, not too cold.
It's a little fresh for commentary though, isn't it?
It is.
Look at about 4 layers on Tara.
Yeah, it gets cold out here in Maitland, doesn't it?
So you guys listening in and tuning in can't see us, so Tara looks like she's ready to go to Threadbow or Perisher. As Conway falls over again as he kicks that one. Now Muddle comes away with it. Nice ball through, just a little heavy for Muddle racing after it, and Wowries will track down, take his time, turns it back and delivers for Jones. Shoemaker, Niankuru gets offered some space in the midfield, accelerates through. McManus getting in behind. Wara does well there. McManus trying to appeal, but Semiwara just made himself big.
That's fantastic defending there from Wara. He just knew where McManus wanted to make his run, and he just ran in that path and didn't allow him to get there.
Farland now for Jessup. Jessup just floats it over the top. Thompson controls it down with the chest, but into the path of an Edgeworth runner in Shoemaker. Now it pushes wide. Shoemaker back on the ball. He'll go to Goodman, trying to pop him in behind. Power picks it off, and Wara sends it long. Jones pulls it down. Lundy into Jones and earns the throw for his team, just short of halfway here. Nice delivery down for Crowley. Crowley couldn't control. Falls to his opposite captain in Jackson. He sends it long and wide, and again, Tay Power will take another throw. Power feeds it down. Wanted a handball there against Shoemaker. Did Thompson. The referee not having a bar of it. Shoemaker pushes towards the box. Lays it off now. Trigger pulled by Smith, parried down by Pate. Little fumble, but no one coming through to clean up in time, and he picks it up before Niankuru arrives.
Jones had a lot of time on top of the box there. I thought he might have had an opportunity to take a strike. I think it was probably on his unfavoured foot, though, on that right-hand side.
Starts being a piece too when the team hasn't had much success and they've had a lot of opportunities, and you start to question those. It's those second guesses as Smith with the fresh legs just playing it in there again. Fell for Shoemaker, but he couldn't control. Now McKechnie out for Smith, who just drives it into the box, puts it into the mixer, but it doesn't work out. Played back now. Crowley nearly loses his footing. Accelerated away by Wowries and cuts away from Lundy. Tries to feed it through the eye of the needle through midfield. Muddle comes away instead. Jackson turns it away from Muddle after taking the ball. McFarlane just puts a boot through it, sends it long. Harrison brings it down. Not quite how I think he intended to control it, but it fell to his favour nonetheless. Now floated in. And Curry gets ahead to it. Muddle. At 70, he'll just shepherd it back to Taylor Pate. Certainly had plenty of involvement today, Taylor Pate. McFarlane looking for a runner.
Offside, man. Offside!
Lake stays down. And away comes Edgeworth. Tyson Jackson with all the space in the world cuts into the 18-yard box, feeds it back, but everyone had overrun it. McManus down on the ground, appealing that there should have been something coming his way. McFarlane. Jackson just a little clip there.
Let's see the referee thinking about that one. Was a little clip there from Jackson on the way through.
You feel the emotions rising a little here as this gets later and later, this one. Remembering that the last two semi-finals that have been played in this final series have both gone to extra time, obviously last night and again here last Sunday against Western. So Maitland, like Western, could be back-to-back 120-plus minute efforts.
No wonder in the back of Maitland minds, obviously last week lost in the penalty shootout, so I'm sure they probably don't want it to get to that point.
It's the goalkeepers that were the story of that one. A few saves on either side. It was Western that ended up winning out 5-4. All floated through here for Crowley. Crowley takes a strike. Oh, hits the woodwork. And a couple of millimetres closer and it finds the woodwork and goes in and he has a double. Instead, it remains 1-1.
That's a danger of Maitland. They probably had one chance in the last, 10 to 15 minutes. And they hit the woodwork.
Now they push up and put the pressure on. Ball into the box. Pushed across by Smale. There's no one at the back post, though, for the Magpies, and Edgeworth will clear it long. Wara brings it down. Well controlled there by Thompson. McManus just throwing himself in there, flailing almost. Still 1-0 down at Spears Point. Lake Macquarie leading Broadmeadow. Under 15 minutes to go in that one. Similar timing here. Macquarie trying to hang on. They will, the winner of that, play Tara Andrews Newlambton next week at Alder Park. While the winner of this will play Broadmeadow Magic at Magic Park. Foul goes against Flynn Goodman there. He had the hands over the shoulder. Usually going to go against you if the player goes to ground once you've got your hands on your shoulders. Irrespective of how much force was there. Jessup floats this one over the top looking for Smale. That'll be a card. The first of the game, surprisingly. It was just agricultural. I don't think there was any intent behind it, but there wasn't enough care taken there by Tyler Harrison. You've seen a few players come to their benches for a little bit of the good old pickle juice.
That's it. It's funny how pickle juice has just become a regular feature in football and in any sport now. To try and stop those cramps.
I was wondering whether, it's pickle juice, but is it just the juice out of the pickle jar? Is it just vinegar, basically?
I think so, yeah.
Right.
And apparently, I heard that doesn't actually do anything. It just makes you stop thinking about your cramps.
So just have something that tastes horrible, and it'll distract you.
That's it. So if we've got physio friends or someone that knows the actual science behind it.
It's like the magic water, right? It's like the magic water, the magic sponge, I think they call it in some sports. This one into the box and headed away by Jackson. Powell plays it forward. Nankuru has a swing but misses, floated into the box. Down on almost all fours there, Harrison. Commitment to the call. So he heads it away as the last of the natural light fades here. And I'll tell you what, in terms of picturesque views, there's not many better commentary booths in northern New South Wales than this one. As you look out over the mountains, I said it before, one of the highest points around here, right up the top. That obviously means the wind comes in as well. There's the sun sets behind us, and you get that nice little view out to the mountains. Absolutely outstanding, and there's a good crowd in here with none of them focused on that view. Ball curled into the box here. Crowley up. Conway gets a hand to it. Does well. McFarlane cuts back. Little deflection. Poke back to him. Into the box. Seen away. Wowry steps up to it. That was a well-earned free kick there by Matt Jones. He saw Lundy sliding in. Then Wowry's going to be very careful here. Things starting to boil over. Wowry's coming in and getting involved where he probably wasn't wanted nor warranted. Jones, yellow card already out of the pocket. Braden Crowley. And both of them having an argument about it.
Yes, he did.
Edgeworth players appealing as a punch thrown. I'm not sure that I saw a punch. I thought it was maybe an open hand.
I think he's probably a little bit lucky there. Potentially to only receive a yellow card. There was some sort of hand or arm that went up.
So it's an interesting one, depending on the sport and how it's dealt with. Wowry's coming in there probably doesn't help that situation in terms of the escalation. But again, if that is the case, then there's zero excuse for it, as this is shepherded towards the byline, but not completely over. Now Maitland with Semiwara floating it long, looking for Crowley. Wowry's wins out there. McFarlane over the top there from Lundy. I do love the fans and officials who want the letter of the rule book officiated, in essence, when someone bumps the ball away 2 or 3 metres. But if it was called against their team the same way, it would absolutely be blue murder.
That's right.
It's the joys of sport. Nice ball in behind here for Jones. Feeds it into the box, seen away. McSeveny. A throw in very deep in attacking territory. I thought we're going to have another one of those plethora of Edgeworth corners. So, unsurprisingly, it'll be Reece McManus looking to go long into the box. At the moment, though, the only Edgeworth player really that I could see in the box is Aaron Niankuru. I'm not sure he's the man you want going shoulder to shoulder for a header. He has got a vertical leap on him, but unsurprisingly, the man that sees it away was Semiwara. They pop it in behind here, looking for Braden Crowley up against Wowry's. Has to turn back. This probably cost him here. Feeds it across to Lundy. Lundy versus Jackson, 19 versus 19. Jackson gets a boot in, spills across, and then he's seen away with a deflection. Jones out in front for Jackson. Thompson in pursuit. Goodman back to Jones. Time ticking away here. Closing in on another 30 minutes. All seen off. Edgeworth just can't find a target in that box. McKechnie now crosses it in. McSeveny heads it away. Cleared long by Jessup.
And a little bit of frustration there, just from Edgeworth, not being able to get those crosses in. They're not beating that first defender, which doesn't give any of the strikers a good chance.
Still plenty of time for a winner to be found. 8 or so minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Ball fed into the box here. McManus' flag goes up. He's offside. Didn't matter anyway. Taylor Pate was up to the task. But inside the final 8 minutes of regulation time, and then whatever the referees allow thereafter. Wonder if we'll see some more changes, or whether they'll hold off to potentially imminent extra time. We do have, for Edgeworth, obviously, the experience of Jaden Stewart's and one on the bench that jumps out. So as you want to find someone who can score, would very much change the look of their front line, though. More traditional target man to come in. Thompson feeding this through too quick for Lundy. Couldn't quite get the touch on it. And Conway will go back there and take control. Feels like with every attack that passes, the temperature drops by about 0.5 degree. Goodman offside, got a little too enthusiastic there. Maitland now. Crowley brings it down. Shoemaker takes it though for Edgeworth. Now Smith. An immediate impact when he came on. Niankuru can't get that one, and Jessup sends it long. Thompson brings it down. Crowley wins out. Pokes it forward. Just not quite enough angle. Right idea, wrong execution. Niankuru goes the other way. Feeds it across for McKechnie puts it in behind, looking for the pace of McManus. Missed touch by Power. And the throw-in will go the way of the Edgeworth Eagles deep in attacking territory. Is this the moment? Edgeworth and Maitland fighting for a ticket in the preliminary final where they'll take the winner will take on Broadmeadow Magic next week at Magic Park for a spot in the grand final against the Western Bears, who yesterday broke a 12-year grand final drought, and they now look to break a 31-year championship drought. So have three sides, though, that would like to have a say in that not happening. Two of them out here fighting to progress on to next week as they take the short corner here. Edgeworth, Nankuri now curls it towards the front post. Nothing presenting for them. Goodman under pressure, wrestles away. They drop it back to McKechnie. Will he pull the trigger? He floats it. Back post. Brought down. Muddle's there. So Smith, but Muddle gets the boot to it and sees it away. Execution in the front third has not been the Eagles' forte thus far today. They're by far the greater number of opportunities. You have to feel it'd be almost in the range of 2 or 3 to 1, the balance of those opportunities. Here it comes to Nankuri. Can he pull the trigger? Turns away, has to lay it off. Now another trigger pulled, this time well clear and well over the crossbar and away.
Yeah, a little bit frustrating there for the Edgeworth bench here. I think they'd ask for a little bit more composure. Keep the ball moving. Can they get it a little bit closer in? Can they get a cross in?
What a change to be able to call on. Richard Ruiz, the man, the American who spent his time Gonzaga in college football. He's played in the lower tiers in France. Could this be a chance for him to shine? More experience at the other end of the field, but we talked about it before. Defenders come attackers, and that's where he's being deployed in this one off the bench. Been used in a number of different roles this year for Maitland. Defensive midfielder as a controlling midfielder. And now Crowley, is he onside? The flag stays down, much to the dismay of the Edgeworth fans. He's got Lundy with him. Can Lundy pull the trigger? Lays it off. McFarlane curls it past and nails it in the back of the net, much to the protests of the Edgeworth bench. The goal stands, and Maitland in the dying stages lead 2 goals to 1. And straight away, Peter McGuinness is going to call Jaden Stewardson down, it looks. They need a goal, and they'll call on a proven striker. He's been a big game player with the Magic. They're going to deploy a couple of changes here, it looks like. I'm sure that replay will be poured over a number of times by the Edgeworth faithful. It was tight, but the magic of that goal from the finish of Daniel McFarlane cannot be denied. It was an outstanding one-on-one finish, Tara.
It was, and I think the lead up to that, Braden Crowley's obviously curved his running behind. Whether that was onside or offside, it's very hard to tell from this angle, but great to get in behind, and then what a finish there for Maitland.
So Edgeworth with work to do, their season on the line and not long to work it through. And pull back to level pegging. They've had plenty of opportunities. Can they create another here? Fed into the box. Wara throwing himself at that one. Jones, will he take the strike from range? Floats it in, looking for the header. Can't be controlled. Crowley pushing it wide. Goodman's out there trying to look for the pass. Plays it into the Maitland defender in Lundy, who just pokes it away. Just tries to take a couple more seconds off the clock. 2 or so minutes of regular time remaining. Another ball played in. Stewardson looking to get himself involved. And a challenge there from Tay Power. Braden Crowley goes down.
Sure whether Crowley's got
game management or cramp on his mind.
Yeah.
Well, either way, the referee will undoubtedly... This is the thing that always amuses me, is the referee sitting there, he's literally stopped his watch. He will be watching the time, managing that. And security down, having to pick things out of the net that have been put in there. I'm not sure what's going on down that end. It's all happening. Just trying to keep the crowd under control. That undoubtedly giving Ben Conway some feedback after that goal. And Aidan Crowley will take his time coming off here. And this set piece could be crucial for the Eagles. We see a change coming. Crowley will actually make way. A player who's not numbered on our sheet will come on, so we'll work that out in a moment. Packed there and punched out at the back of the pack by Taylor Pate. Woweries, I thought he was just going to try and wind up. Headed away again. Now Wara brings it down. He's going to go on a run long out of the box. I need him back in there. He's the anchor of defence. He tries to track back as Joey Smith plays it across to Tyson Jackson. 4 minutes of added time. Smith trying to curl it in. Brought down. Attempted bicycle there, and that was very Semiwara-esque. That goal I talked about in the OFC Pro League, that looked a lot like him.
He wasn't too far out. If he got some good contact on that one, directed towards goal, would have been interesting to see what Pate could have done.
Pate, unsurprisingly, will be quite relaxed in his time management here. I don't think he'll be in any rush. We've got 1 foot into the prelim next week. I thought when Edgeworth scored there first that they might have got the momentum and ridden that wave home, but then that goal back against the run. All it over the top there for Edgeworth. Wells with the kick. Now they go long with Jackson. Goodman gets up trying to take it. Stewartson over the top of him is Wara. Push it wide. Joey Smith, he's looked dangerous since he's come on. Heavy involvement in that first goal we just touched on. Can they find a second here in stoppage time and take it to extra time? Woweries. About out at a similar stage, these two sides last year in the early weeks of the finals. One of them will go further this year. And there's that slip. Appeals for a foul, but it's just a clean slip again. Lundy caught in a firm tackle there. And they're pushing wide with Jackson. Can he float it into the box and find a target? He takes it on, cuts infield against Ruiz. Plays it in now. McKechnie feeds it in. Half a chance here, spilling around and goes wide, just off target. There's no real power on it. It'll be a goal kick. And another player down, Dan McFarlane with cramp. Not sure if that was Edgeworth players or Edgeworth fans telling him to get up. And he's back to his feet, hobbling a little. Then Conway is trying to spur his troops on from the back here. Ask them to give everything. Get further and further into stoppage time. Pate's told to move it on. Sends it long beyond halfway. Ball headed down, lobbed forward now. Wara up against Goodman, gets the header on, as does Lundy. Shoemaker pushes it up. It's not really by design at this point for Edgeworth. It feels like they're just rushing, trying to get forward. Here goes Richard Ruiz, barrelling down towards Conway. He's going to have to be quick moving it on. Ruiz trying to press him, trying to pressure him. Conway taking his time. McGuinness, Coach Peter McGuinness trying to urge him on. The ball bounces forward. Stewartson, there's appeals for a foul as two players collide. The referee says no, keep it going. Now McKechnie. Tough job. A hotly contested affair for our officials. Woweries pushed it across. Jackson, the captain, could he find a moment? Takes a strike, deflected, bounces up. Wara's there again as he has been all day. It falls again for Edgeworth. Into the box with Stewartson. Can he turn? Takes the strike. Takes a deflection. It'll be a corner. Perfectly set for some late drama. Then Conway asked for permission to go up, and he's encouraged. The assistant coach said yes. The head coach said no. He'll hold it halfway. If it spills out the back, watch for him to charge forward and try and take a strike. So goalkeepers dream of it. It's seen away for the time being. Jackson. There can't be long left now. Takes a strike. Blocked again. Who else? No, it's Cameron Jessup, not Samiwara this time. They go wide. Curling it in Smith. Wara's at the front post. Nearly gets a fist in the face from his own goalkeeper. Such is the push to clear it away. All eyes on the referee.
Desperate defending here from Maitland, trying to hold him out.
All on the line. A ticket to the preliminary final. It's in Maitland's reach at the moment. Edgeworth need to find something and find it quickly. Tyson Jackson. The referee checks his watch. Floated into the box. Taylor Pate takes it in two hands. And he'll take his time here. Patient. Gets the countdown. Gets the signal from the referee. He'll go long. And there goes the whistle, and Maitland FC are through with a 2-1 victory over the Edgeworth Eagles to the preliminary final next weekend in the Northern New South Wales NPL. A 2-1 victory. The second goal from Daniel McFarlane seals it after Edgeworth had pulled things back on level terms. An outstanding game of football. Again, elevating this level of this competition, and what a weekend it's been in terms of finals football, Tara Andrews.
What a game. I think today was just a showing of when you take your chances, you can win football games. And I think Edgeworth were a little bit unlucky, but Maitland took those chances and they've come away with the win, and they'll look to play Magic next week. Yeah, it's going to be a huge run next week. Maitland will go down there. Magic will be absolutely smarting from being pipped in terms of the game last night. But as it stands now, it is Maitland versus Broadmeadow for a spot in the grand final against Western in a fortnight's time at Darling Street. All the big games coming thick and fast. Speaking of, it is 1-0. Lake Macquarie still leading Broadmeadow Magic in stoppage time there, so still waiting to see who the opponent will be. But here today, Maitland FC go out winners 2-1. It was Braden Crowley and Daniel McFarlane, the two experienced men, scoring the goals for them. At the other end, we touched about it. Samiwara was absolutely outstanding. Taylor Pate. He had a couple of nervy moments, but stood up at a couple of clutch ones as well. There's certainly plenty of players on both sides that should be taking a bow. Edgeworth outstanding in defeat. A goal for them coming from the head of Flynn Goodman. And Tara, as I said, the two games these last 2 days have absolutely put this competition up in lights. They've lived up to the billing, and I just cannot wait for next weekend to watch Maitland go up against Broadmeadow for that spot in the grand final against Western. That's right. It's going to be an amazing game next week. Obviously, two brilliant teams that are going to go head-to-head and vying for that spot in the grand final. So I think we're going to see another great game after the couple of days that we've had so far. Well, the good news is not only can you catch that game, the grand final, the reserve grade competition, the Cardiff Motor Group Women's NPL. You'll also be able to get the promotion relegation playoff next week between Kohibra and Newcastle, Croatia, live from Hunter City Motor Group Stadium at Western as well. All live and free on the Northern New South Wales YouTube channel where you've been tuning in to us today. So a big thank you for tuning in. Enjoy what is left of your weekend. We look forward to be calling more football for you again next week. But it is Maitland FC that march on here 2-1.
Pleasure. Thank you. Pleasure.